Again, this is Dr. Aajay Shah. I'm doing this happiness workshop. This is segment number 15. Please watch on YouTube segment 1 to 14 before you go on segment 15. So again, this is segment number 15 of 20. So this brings us to the next topic, that even the words we use on a daily basis and our facial expressions provides us joy or happiness and reflects how happy and how joyful we are. There was a nun study done that these nuns, what journal they wrote in the 20s and 30s, and how much of the happy words they use, how much of the positive words they use. And then they saw in the 70s, 80s, and 90s the health, the physical health, the mental health, the spiritual health. And depending upon the words this nun chose 60, 70 years back to write their journals, it predicted how happy the nuns were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Matter of fact, the nuns who wrote more the words of joy, the thank you, other happy words, they were able to live longer and they were happier in their 80s and 90s. Many of them lived in their 90s. Actually, there was another study done where on the women's face, on their smile, if they had a genuine smile, they had a very high chance of happiness 30 years later, and very less chance of divorce. So again, what words we use and what facial expressions we have. Matter of fact, there's a small study done on the Facebook words we use by the individuals and by the community. There are algorithms which can predict how happy you are and what kind of community health we have just based on what words are used. Matter of fact, there is a computer protocol where recording 30 minutes of conversation between couples and between friends can predict how good of a relation you have. And this slide is a great slide. This slide are the words used by men and women on Facebook. And you can see the bottom words are words by the man. You can see the words which men use on their interaction, on their Facebook words. And obviously you all can see the biggest, most frequently used word by man is the F word. Again, men use F word all the time. While the biggest word women use is love you and excited and shopping and hair and love. So again, the way man and woman use different words in their life, on their interaction with other people, on Facebook, on their text messaging, can predict who's happy, who's having more joy. If based on this slide, to be honest with you, women are happier than men. Well, men just not happy people. They use F word all the time. That brings us next thing, that any difficult decision we have to make sometimes can make us unhappy. Many decisions are not that easy to make because they have both kind of consequences, both happy consequences and unhappy consequences. For example, for a prime minister or president to make a decision to go to a war can lead to the happiness for a country and unhappiness for the country. Because in war, obviously, sometimes you can defeat a brutal dictator, but it can kill many innocent people. So again, going to a war is a difficult decision because it can bring many happiness and unhappiness. Same thing in our own individual life, in a personal life, many decisions can bring both joy and sorrow. And that's where we have to introspect and we have to make the most compassionate decision. So again, decision making is not that simple. We have to introspect. We have to make the most balanced, most compassionate decision. That brings us to the next slide, the pyre and worry. Pyre and worry. Pyre is the burning wood when a person is cremated. The pyre and worry, one burns the dead while the other burns the living. Again, pyre versus worry. Pyre burns the dead. You can see the picture on the screen, while the worry burns the living. So what can you do? How can you handle worries? Because people who worry typically are not happy people. So how can you handle worry? Most worries never materialize. We all have experienced when we were worried about things never happen. So the way I handle it is by keeping a worry journal. Matter of fact, I've helped Saloni, our daughter, to do that also. So I have my worry journal for last many years. And I know just by looking at the journal that most worries never happen. So I have a great video on journaling on YouTube. Please reach out to our YouTube channel. Watch the video how to keep a worry journal and write all your worries of your life when you have time, 5 or 10 minutes in your phone, and realize that those worries did not happen. Whenever any new worry comes to you, write in your phone right away. And after a week, after a month, you realize that worry did not happen. And then you will start to get the confidence that most worries are not going to happen. You can also dedicate 5-10 minutes a day or 5-10 minutes a week. I call worry time, where you sit down quietly in a quiet room and just go through all the worries you need to go through, either in a writing form on a phone and analyzing them. And then remaining time of the day, try not to worry. Obviously, very difficult thing. When you start worrying, you stop everything else, thinking and just worry. So worrying is something difficult skill to overcome. But we need to dedicate time just to worry 5-10 minutes a day and not worry all day. That brings us to the next topic, is the adversity, how to overcome adversity. So learn to increase your resilience or your grit. There's a great book, Grit, by Angela Duckworth. There's a great book called Adversity Quotient by Paul Stoltz. We'll look at it. So my recommendation to you is raise your adversity quotient. Adversity quotient. Essentially, how you can be more resilient. So it means that you fall 7 times and you get up 8 times. There's a great Japanese way of saying fall 7 times, but get up 8 times. So as long as you get up one more time than you fell, you'll be fine in life. And this is a great book by Paul Stoltz, Adversity Quotient, Turning Obstacles into Opportunities. People who have a high AQ, high adversity quotient, have a higher chance of happiness. That brings us to the next way of getting happy by great Mahatma Gandhi, where he says, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. So again, whatever we think, whatever we say, and whatever we do are in harmony. And his great quote that my life is my message. My life is my message. You can see on the picture the joy on Mahatma Gandhi's face, the smile, and you can see he was a happy person. And he was happy because what he thought, what he said, and what he did, all three were in harmony. He promoted truth, he was always truthful. He promoted nonviolence, and he was always nonviolent. So again, be like Mahatma Gandhi. Obviously, big shoes to fit in, but we all can try to be like Mahatma Gandhi. So again, this concludes our current segment. Let's pause and reflect on our current segment. What adversities you have overcome? How is your adversity quotient? What worries do you have right now? Can you analyze your worries? And my last question for this segment is, are your most worries from past ever materialized? Again, that concludes our current segment. Again, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. Like us on all social media. Invite your friends and family. Please watch it together. This video will be on YouTube. This video will be a great video to watch on a big TV. Watch them in segments in a row. Watch all the segments in sequence, and hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Thank you.